All right, well, we have been monitoring conditions along the coast, specifically the Crystal Coast, very closely. And our Connor Kick is live now in Morehead City in Carteret County. So, Connor, we want to take a look at conditions there and tell us what you're seeing as we're working into the 10 o'clock hour here.
Yeah, Marie, in the 10 o'clock hours here, it is pretty windy now. It's really starting to pick up again. We're just going to go ahead and dive straight into it here. Right behind me, this is DG's Gifts and also the Silver Line Candy Ice Cream Store. Very popular place here in Morehead City along the waterfront area here. As you can see, that metal roof completely just bent up. It just looks like it just went straight up into a little thing. We got stuff hanging off the side of it. Part of that roofing there, it looks like it came all the way from the top here. My photographer Carvon and I have been sitting here all afternoon, or all morning should I say, and just waiting for this little piece to fall off. It's hanging on by just a little thread, and just to give someone else more references, this is right across from the Ruddy Duck. What we're also seeing down here in Morehead City is a lot of the light posts. They have glass, usually surrounded by a glass casing, and those have all been ripped off, torn apart, right off the bottom part of it here. Police have gone by a couple of times. They're telling people to get off the streets. As you can see, clearly it's not safe for people to be back here. And they're also warning people that the Atlantic Beach Bridge, the Emerald Isle Bridge, and the Beaufort Bridges, those are all still closed at this time. Now, one thing that they also wanted to remind people of is to make sure that if they do have to get out for some reason, is to make sure that they're not crossing any active power lines or going through any deep water flooding.
Yeah, Connor, even you standing there is making me a little nervous right now because the wind is still blowing. And as you mentioned, you know, the rest of that, like that sheet metal roof really could just come off at any time. So, I mean, really wind gusts could still pick up in that area.
Yeah, we're forecasting at least 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts for inland areas and 40 to 50 miles at the coast at least. So there is still debris, as Connor's showing us, on the ground. So when folks are out trying to assess the damage and clean up, you have to be careful and be vigilant because damage could fly.
Good point there. And Connor, with relation to the wind that you are feeling, I'm familiar where the Ruddy Duck restaurant is. Where in relation, again, is where you are showing us right now versus the Ruddy Duck restaurant? And the reason I'm asking is I know the Ruddy Duck is right on the water. Is there any way that you could see the sound water right now to see how rough or how high the surge may still be in that area?
Yeah, so actually the Ruddy Duck is literally probably about 5 or 10 feet to our left right here, or I guess the camera's right. And the water, I can walk over here as Carvon is showing you guys some of this. The water is still probably, it's still up there. It's still up to probably about dock level. But at the same time, one thing that should be noted is that this whole street, this whole area yesterday was completely flooded. There was no way that anybody could even drive up here, even though some people were.
A very valid observation, Connor. Again, this is David along with Dante and Maria, as I'm sure you are aware. Connor, the other thing that really intrigues me, and you have confirmed for us, that the bridges are closed down. Is it a correct assumption to say that if and when they do open the bridges, will it be just limited to permit, meaning land and property owners only that can come across? In other words, only those with a valid permit can come across the bridge. Is that something that you could confirm for us in due time in terms of the bridges opening up eventually?
Yeah, so on the Carteret County Emergency Management Facebook page, they said that they will be limiting the amount of people that will be allowed into Atlantic Beach. Now, the details of who those limitations are, that I can't confirm any of that though, but they did say that it is going to be limited right now. They don't want anybody over there just because of there is some intense damage over there from this storm as well.
Thanks for that confirmation there, Connor. That's exactly what I was looking for. So spot on with your response on that. Great.
Connor, are you and Carvon by chance, and I don't know if this has been worked out or not, are you, once they open this up, going to head over there to see maybe the extent of the damage, or has that not been worked out yet as far as the plans?
Yes, we would actually like to get over there. We want to bring some of the first pictures. We are the only local news crew that is in Morehead City right now, just to keep that in mind while a lot of us are down here, that WNCT is the only news group in Morehead City at the time. So we would like to get over there to bring viewers some first-hand look there. I know that a lot of people have personally messaged me like, hey, have you been able to get over to Atlantic Beach yet? We have not, but the only stuff that we've seen is the same stuff that you guys have seen from like the town pages.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw some drone photos, which I think we have shared in some of our montages, but really, and I think that was even from before the peak of the storm yesterday, which still showed a lot of flooding and a lot of damage.
From the winds. Wow.
Yeah. Connor, I'm just, as we see this background behind you of
the waterfront.
The waterfront there, thank you. I'm at a loss for words this morning.
No.
As we see that behind you, I wanted to ask David and Dante, how do you explain, explain to me maybe and some of our viewers who may not be familiar with waterfront areas like this. So it was flooded there yesterday and it's already started to recede?
Yeah, that storm surge is backed off.
Okay.
It's backed
already.
off. Yeah,
so quickly.
already.
Okay.
Yep. And that all that water Connor was telling us about is that combination of ocean or sound water that was washed over the bulkhead there.
Right.
And as all that rain was falling, that of course was collecting on the street. So Connor, would you say it was a mixture then of salt water and fresh water that was inundating the waterfront yesterday during the height of the storm?
Yes, that definitely was very valid there. We saw, I think it's one of the main hotels, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head here, but their entire parking garage was completely filled up at the bottom of the brim there. And, you know, that was probably the deepest water that we saw from some of that storm surge was right in the hotel area, because that had to be at least up to here on me. We didn't even go anywhere near that. But then right behind that hotel, right on the waterfront, was the entire street was just completely covered in water, impassable, and a lot of it was splashing up over the retaining wall onto the street.
Right, very compelling. And you know, to that end, Connor, we thank you for being our eyes, of course, as you are giving us such firsthand looks as representing in Eastern North Carolina, and again being that vital resource for our viewers. Really do appreciate the entire team effort as the winds are picking up. One final question along that, and you may have already discussed this with Maria at some point, but here is a follow-up question. All power is out in Carteret County for the time being.
99%, if not up to 100%.
Right, and you know, it is. You know, there is no speculation even at this point as to restoration of that power, and so again, this is just why, you know, our continuous coverage, very timely in so many respects, to be able to allow Connor and all of our crews around Eastern North Carolina in this now aftermath to bring us these compelling pictures and these stories that help us get, attempt to get our minds around the gravity and the magnitude of Hurricane Florence's impacts.
Yeah, Connor, have you seen a lot of people out and about? I know the Carteret County, a lot of folks were evacuated, but have you seen a lot of people out and about, and what are they doing? I've seen some people behind you, but how many people have you seen out, would you say?
I would say the number is close to probably in the hundreds of people out this morning, and that is exactly the opposite of what the police want this morning. We've seen a ton of people want to either A, come and check on their property damage, or B, they just want to go ahead and check a lot of just the damage in general. We've seen more people walk around with their phones turned to their side. Well, first off, driving, and also we've seen a lot of people do that just walking up and down some of their local areas. We talked to a couple people, And one thing that I think you should not do now is walk your dogs. We've seen a ton of dogs around this area. There's tons of broken glass, tons of nails from some of the roofs, and just not safe conditions to walk your dogs at all. And one other point that we should point out here about the power outages that you guys spoke about is the lights at all the intersections. Those are all out as well. So the stop kind of, everybody stops at the intersection kind of deal is in effect right now for people that are out. I mean, you just saw the people walking behind me now. They're just going out getting pictures. It looks like as kind of a family activity, and that's definitely not something that you should be doing right now.
Wow.
Definitely not. All right, Connor, we're going to let you go. Again, we thank you so much for your very active and informative reporting from Morehead City for us.